Hi mates, so as promised, here's the video. I'll try and speak slowly because I know that there's a bit of an accent difference going off, and I do get told quite a lot by some of the people that use my courses abroad that I speak too fast, so I'll try and slow it down for you. Also, I've just come out of teaching, been coaching for the last few hours, so I'm not warm, I'm just doing this straight as, so apologies if my technique's a little bit iffy. And I'm also full of cold, all the excuses. But no, looking at what you're doing with your video, obviously it's very apparent that you do have experience. Obviously I don't know you, I don't know what you've done before, I've just kind of jumped into this as is from your video and your comments. But I can see from your movement that you have some experience in it's difficult to pinpoint what, obviously, but I can see that you have, let's say, movement experience. You're comfortable with your body, and you understand the sort of the biomechanics of what you need to do to achieve certain things. But there's some key markers, some points in what you're doing with the kick that are actually getting in the way of fully exploiting the movement that you could achieve. It's a very long-winded way of saying that you're not quite doing it right. So, anyway, and now some of this I will have to do with my back to you so that you can see. I can't actually do this on my left leg at the moment. Boring injury stuff. So, right. So, couple of things. I don't see. I'm not obviously on that video you sent. I'm not seeing the lead up to it. But what it looks to me like you're doing is you're coming from your kicking leg at the front and you're stepping in. So your feet are together, and then you're punching up from the ground that way. What you want to try and do is cut that out straight away. Start with your kicking leg as your rear leg. So if I'm doing this with my jump spin back kick with my right leg, like I did in the video that I posted, I've got my right leg at the back. Okay, and what I'm looking to do from here is pushing, and I'm rotating from my upper body. So I'm pulling round. One of the key things to note on your video is your rotation starting and your hips are turning whilst you've got your face still back here, okay? And what we want to try and do in the initial phase of the jump and the rotation is to pull round here first. Now, it might be that your head doesn't go around completely, but you still want your upper body and your shoulders engaged in the rotation to pull your hips round. So what I would do initially is it's a good little drill just to get you comfortable with it, is take out the kick and just focus on pushing and rotating and using your upper body to pull you round. So you're just doing basically that jump. So I'm going up with my shoulders and my head first, and then the rest of it follows. Another thing you can do, which might sound obvious, but if you just work on your normal sort of step into that first so that you're comfortable with the rotational movement here of coming round and then kicking out. Yeah? So you're just getting used to that extension with your leg, because adding the jump in, it isn't actually a big deal so long as the jump's done right. The jump's the easy bit, the kick's the hardest part. So if you can get comfortable with a nice rotated spin back kick, it's going to make your jump back kick easy too. Okay, so going back to what I was saying before, try not to jump here. What this is doing is killing your rotation. Yeah, as you do this thing here, that's taking you're starting the rotation, then you're stopping it. Right, and then what you're trying to do is push from this sort of feet together position to generate rotation for your kick, and it kind of stalls it. So what you want to do is start with your feet apart and start your rotation, and don't think of it as it's not a bounce, it's sort of an explosion from the floor. So I'm here, as I'm going for the kick, I'm pushing up from the floor. So I'm coiling the spring and then exploding it out. Yeah, I'm not bouncing it from the floor. Yeah, so I'm not bouncing from here and then trying to go out, because what I'm doing is I'm sort of drilling the energy into the ground for this kick. For certain kicks, that does actually work, but we're not doing those now. So what I'm wanting to do is have gap between my feet here, and I'm working on exploding and rotating. So from here, and round, yeah. Another thing that I noticed on yours as well that you're doing is, as you're stepping here, as you're pushing your rotation, you're sort of about here, and as you're going to kick, you're actually sort of opening your shoulder and chest out with your arms this way. You're pushing your arms out. And what that's telling me from looking at that is that you're not generating enough rotation to sort of put enough sort of torque or twist into the kick. So you're compensating for that by throwing your arms out and pushing your chest, almost as if you were doing a sort of a jump side kick. Yeah, so you're doing sort of this movement. So what's happening is you're at the top point here, you're feeling like you don't have enough rotation, so you're generating extra force by opening your chest out to push, like you were doing a jump side kick. So in effect, you're sort of like doing a pop, sort of 3/4 rotation jump side kick, which isn't a thing, but that's kind of what you're doing. You're doing a sort of a jump side kick out of like a pop rotation, like this. And it's not giving you enough sort of rotational torque to transfer into the kick. So, just to go through it again, I've talked for too long. I'm probably too fast, sorry. Back to my feet. I'm working on pushing from the ground in this rotation here, yeah? And I'm not, this is the weird thing, when you're comfortable with this, you don't actually give a, pardon my language, you don't give a shit where that pad is, you're not looking for it. But when you first start doing it, the best thing you can do is actually look for it, because it means that your head and shoulders are rotated. If you can't see it, then you're not rotated. Whereas eventually, you don't need it. You don't think about it. So I'm here, push and rotate, then explode out. Okay? There's different ways of, I mean, I'm fancying it up, tarting it up a little bit. I'm delaying it. I'm sort of like the Donnie Yen approach to it. As I'm kicking it out, I'm letting that leg go out there. You don't really need to do that, unless you want to, and make it look nice. Obviously, if I was really committing to it, I'd kick through and I'd be driving forwards, and I'd end up going that way, so putting more push into it. The other thing you can try as well for a bit of fun with it is, if you are wanting to start it from your rear leg, you can use that as a swing over instead. So you swing your leg over and then it kicks out. It'll help if I kick the pad really, but you get the idea. So I swing out and then kick round, and then obviously you can start adding height to that. That's sort of like it's a different kick, it's got different properties to it, but it takes out that step. Hopefully there's something helpful within all of that. If I can help at all with anything else, please do ask, and send me some clips over and I'll help out. Okay, cheers.